What's going on, guys? It's Nick back again with Nikita's Tech Ops, here with the promised T-Mobile OnePlus 7T Pro McLaren Edition, the mouthful phone. But upon request, I know I had some comments on my last video of the Note 10 Plus 5G. I know you guys wanted to see an unboxing and a bit of a review of the McLaren Edition. Basically, OnePlus's 5G phone. This thing is pretty amazing in terms of what it can do. A lot of bang for the buck, if you will, in comparison to the Note 10 Plus 5G. So let's take a deep dive, let's unbox this guy and see what it's all about. So first things first, we've got quite the unboxing experience. It's kind of reminiscent of the Apple Watch. If you guys have seen the Series 4 or the Series 5, unboxing is actually kind of similar. You've got a box within a box. So you open up this orange peel here, and you got your Never Settle logo here, and pretty much just the specs on the back if you guys want to check those out real quick. Got the 5G capable new modem inside of here. We've got the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus, so we've got a bit of a leg up compared to the Galaxy Note 10 Plus 5G. We have ourselves a 6.7-inch QHD Plus Fluid AMOLED display that runs at 90 Hz, which gives you that extra crispy smoothness on your day-to-day use. We've got 3 cameras on the back, a 48 megapixel, a 16 megapixel, and an 8 megapixel. We also have a 4085 milliamp hour battery. We have the new Warp Charge 30T, 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.0 storage, 12 gigabytes of RAM, and we are running the latest Oxygen OS on top of Android 10. So, some very, very nice high-end specs on this guy here. Set this to the side. Next, what we have is a really, really cool, I'm positive it's not real, but a really cool carbon fiber kind of design. If you guys can pick that up on the camera, it's real nice. Has a texture to it, it's real cool. And then they got the OnePlus logo and then the McLaren logo on the box here. So that's kind of neat. And as I'll show you guys in a second, there's a bit of an Easter egg with the box here. That's kind of cool. But let's go ahead and open this guy up. I love these papaya orange accents on the box. It's really, really cool. So pull this guy out. We've got usual instruction packets and such, so if that interests you, make sure you save those. But otherwise, Android has been Android for a decade now, and we don't need those. Next, inside the box, we have displayed the beautiful OnePlus 7T Pro 5G McLaren Edition with the really, really cool looking pattern on the back here that actually surprised me because I can't really get it to show on camera, but the pattern that's up here actually goes all the way down to the McLaren logo down here, so it's really, really cool. A very unique touch of OnePlus to put on their phone, and I'm a big fan of it. There's also this cool papaya orange ring that goes around the camera module, which is a really nice touch, and then you've got the McLaren logo down at the bottom with some more of that papaya orange trim, which is really, really nice looking in my opinion. On the left side of the phone, we have the volume rocker like usual. On the right side of the phone, you have the lock and unlock button, as well as the vibrate switch for the device itself. Now, I've had the chance to actually power this device on and use it a little bit, so I've got a bunch of junk on here, but I'm going to set this guy to the side for now, and we'll take a look at what's also in this box here. So we have a really, really high quality, nice braided USB-C cable that you have to use in order to get the Warp Charge 30T, so make sure you keep this guy around. Under the little Never Settle door here, we have a nice, it's difficult to get out of there, a nice big charging brick. This guy, Inherently charges at 30 watts, but I do believe it can get a little bit higher than that in little spurts to get your phone. I believe it's up to 70% in 30 minutes, so really fast charger that comes in the box with this guy. It's really nice to see OnePlus constantly evolving the charging technology that comes in the box with their phones, so that's really cool. Otherwise, in the main box, there isn't really anything else, but in typical OnePlus fashion, I'm sure you guys are asking, well, where's the case that comes with the phone? But in order to get there, you have little arrows that point to the bottom. You kind of have to pay attention to it whenever you're unboxing this phone. But if you pull out the bottom portion of the box, it's got a little trap door here on it. And this here reveals the really cool, good-looking case that OnePlus includes with this phone. It also has the kind of faux carbon fiber feel on here, but it is textured, so it feels real good. And then you have a sort of microfiber Alcantara material in here, and then the McLaren and the OnePlus inlays are kind of metallic and reflective, so they do look really good. And then on the inside of the case, you have this kind of hexagonal pattern, presumably to create some air pockets for added protection whenever you're wearing this on your phone, so that's really neat looking. Let's go ahead and actually snap the phone on inside of here. Pardon the one-handed mess here, but there we go, guys. We have ourselves the OnePlus 7T Pro. Let me go ahead and actually turn down the brightness a little bit here so you guys can actually see the display. So on the home screen, in typical OnePlus fashion, they do have some animated wallpaper, so when you unlock the phone you get these really cool papaya orange / red streaks that kind of go across the display. In terms of software out of the box, you do get a basically vanilla version of Android 10, so not a lot of extras, if you will, that OnePlus adds to this. There's just the little customization bits in terms of like the accents up here you can change the color of, you can change the text fonts, you can change the icon packs really easy, but outside of that, not a lot of glitz and glamour on this phone, especially when you compare it to something like the Galaxy Note 10 Plus 5G. Not a lot of software extras like you get with the S Pen, like you get with Samsung's massive suite that they give you with One UI. But that's one of the big things that I kind of want to mention with this phone is Android phones that are bigger like this, that come with 6+ inch displays, they really need to figure something out that makes it easier for one-handed use, because if it wasn't for like the pull down gesture here where you can easily get this down, you would have to be reaching all the way up to the tippy top of the screen, because the screen does go all the way up to the edge, so you know it'll be really difficult to use this phone for people with smaller hands. Another thing worth mentioning here is that even though you get this really clean software, specifically with T-Mobile, updates have been a little bit slow in terms of OnePlus. So typically it takes about a month to 3 months for T-Mobile to actually mess with the update that OnePlus sends them, add all of their little nitpicks, and then send it out to the consumer. So this guy is actually not running the latest software that the OnePlus 7T Pro that you could buy unlocked would be running. So that is a little bit of a downside, that you're kind of under the software control, if you will, of T-Mobile when it comes to this device. But, you know, gripes aside, the phone itself is really excellent. There isn't much that I can show you on the spot here, because like I mentioned in my Note 10 Plus 5G video, I actually don't have 5G in my area. But what I've noticed is I actually took a trip to Alabama for the holidays, for New Year's, and for one, the 5G coverage was a little bit disappointing. I found that it cut in and out between 5G and 4G LTE, basically all the way between St. Louis and Alabama. On top of that, the X55 modem that's inside of this phone and also my Note 10 Plus 5G, it's really bad at switching between 5G and 4G LTE. I found that a lot of times while I was using GPS navigation or while I was out and about trying to find a gas station or such, I had to restart my phone because it would get stuck between 5G and 4G LTE, where it actually would have full bars but was unable to load up web pages and such. So that was actually really frustrating and kind of a bit of a gripe that I currently have with these more expensive phones where you pay a $200 premium for the 5G feature, and it's actually been acting pretty wonky so far, and I did contact T-Mobile regarding that, so hopefully we'll get some answers on what's going on there. Outside of that, performance-wise, the device is incredibly snappy. Everything runs on this phone at a blazing fast speed. Basically have a ton of apps running in the background. Well, not at the moment, but you can have a ton of apps running in the background without any kind of slowdowns. The 90 Hz display makes this phone feel buttery smooth. I have been playing some Call of Duty on it, so that's been a really, really pleasant experience. Gaming is an absolute blast on this phone with the big screen and the incredible specs. Everything just runs really, really smoothly. Another thing I really like to do on this phone is multitasking, just because of how nicely it runs everything. And so what's kind of cool is I really love doing split screen on these bigger phones. So what's kind of cool is, for instance, if you want, you can go into here, you can open up like YouTube, for instance, in split screen view, and then go into another app and then be running two apps in tandem. And I love this for when I'm in my YouTube rabbit hole, watching a million videos throughout the day, and then I actually need to get some work done, and I can do that on the bottom half of the screen. So really nice utility on bigger screens like this, and it's nice that vanilla versions of Android offer some multitasking like this, unlike cough cough, the iPhone 11 Pro Max, which has a similar size screen but does not let you do side-by-side apps like this phone does. Now let's see, what else have I missed here? Apart from just being a good old OnePlus, I'm sure you've seen there's the papaya accents and the black theme on this phone specifically. Certain applications by OnePlus are themed a little bit differently to fit the kind of McLaren aura of the phone. But apart from the color scheme of like the box and the phone, nothing else is really that McLaren about this phone. They don't have an app or anything that's McLaren based. They don't have like a game or anything like that, which would have been cool if like they partnered up with Asphalt, the game, or something like that, and gave you like a McLaren car or something like that. That would have been really, really cool and engaging for customers. But you really mostly, it was just design aesthetic. So they kind of get those design cues from McLaren. Apart from that, camera performance has also been really, really good. You have the same 3 lenses that you had on the regular OnePlus 7 Pro and the OnePlus 7T. So you have 3x zoom, the standard telephoto lens, as well as the wide angle, which gives you a really nice wide angle view. They do have a new nightscape mode that I have been playing around with a little bit. It definitely is a major, major improvement over what we had on the regular OnePlus 7 Pro, so I was definitely happy to see that. Photos at night turn out excellent on this, and they've also improved the slow-mo feature on this, so if you guys happen to want to see some camera comparisons and stuff like that to maybe like the Note 10 Plus 5G, let me know about that. But otherwise, that's kind of my first impressions and unboxing of this phone. If you guys happen to have any questions or anything I can answer for you, hit me up in the comments, or let me know. I can possibly make another video on this phone somewhere down the line and let you know what my impressions have been over a certain period of time. I'm also going to be making another video on the Note 10 Plus 5G. That's something a lot of you have been DMing me about and asking me to make another video, letting you know kind of my long-term impressions of that phone. Otherwise, I can also do a comparison between the OnePlus 7T Pro 5G and the Note 10 Plus 5G if you guys want to see them go head-to-head. I also have some new tech that's come in. I have the new DJI Mavic Mini. If you guys want to see a review on that, I've been having an absolute blast flying that thing around. I got it for the holidays, and it is a absolute beast of a tiny little drone. It can do a whole lot of stuff. Very, very impressive for the price point that DJI was able to get. I also have a couple of new phones coming to me after CES, some more 5G phones and some foldables that are really new and exciting that are going to be announced in the next couple days, so let me know if you guys are interested in seeing those. Apart from that, I do also have the new Tab S6 5G if you guys wanted to get a review on that, even though it's kind of the same as the regular Tab S6. But anyways, that's my wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask down in the comments, or feel free to send me a direct message. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you like the video, give it a like, and thank you so much for your time. Take care.